Hey there, let me ask you something personal. If I told you that a world-renowned heart surgeon lived to be 104 years old, and that his biggest secret wasn't a fancy drug or an expensive supplement, but something as simple as what he ate every day, would you believe me? Well, that's exactly what happened. Dr. Ellsworth Wareham, one of America's most respected heart surgeons, practiced medicine well into his 90s and lived a full, vibrant life to 104. His key: a calm lifestyle, a positive outlook, and a steady plant-centered diet. Now, in today's world, heart disease is everywhere. With so many people overwhelmed by stress, eating processed food on the go, skipping meals or loading up on salt and sugar, it's no wonder we're seeing more strokes, high blood pressure and heart attacks than ever before. But the real truth is, you have more control than you think. You don't need a miracle product or complicated detox program. You just need to shift how you think about your daily habits. That's what we're talking about today: practical, science-backed tips inspired by long-living heart specialists around the world. Things that you can start doing right now to protect your heart, support your energy, and live longer without spending a dime on fancy treatments. Let's start with something we often overlook: how much power your food has over your heart. Your heart beats over 100,000 times a day, every single day, to keep blood pumping through your body. That's over 35 million beats a year. But if your blood vessels are clogged, stiff, or inflamed, your heart has to work harder just to do its job. And over time, that can lead to serious trouble. We often think genetics determine how long we live, but research shows that up to 70% of heart health is driven by lifestyle, not genes. The foods you eat every day can either strengthen your arteries or silently damage them. Let me break down 3 heart-healthy nutrition habits practiced by long-living heart surgeons and supported by medical science. 1. Focus on a plant diet. One thing these doctors agree on, from Dr. Wareham to researchers at Harvard, is the importance of plants in the diet: vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, fruits. These foods are loaded with fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins that help keep your arteries clean, lower inflammation, and reduce the buildup of cholesterol plaques. That doesn't mean you have to become vegan, but the more you shift your meals away from processed meat and towards plants, the better your heart will perform. Start by adding leafy greens like spinach or kale to your lunch. Swap white rice for quinoa or steel-cut oats. Replace some animal protein with lentils, chickpeas, or tofu a few days a week. These small swaps make a big difference over time. To cut down on salt without losing flavor. Too much sodium raises blood pressure, which forces your heart to pump harder. And unfortunately, many Americans consume far more salt than they realize, not just from the salt shaker, but from canned soups, frozen dinners, deli meats, sauces, and snacks. Reducing sodium doesn't mean your food has to taste bland. Train your taste buds slowly. Use herbs, lemon, vinegar, and spices like garlic and paprika to add flavor. The bonus: your meals become more vibrant and your blood pressure starts to drop naturally. 3. Say goodbye to refined sugar and processed foods. This one's big. Excess sugar, especially the kind found in sodas, pastries, and packaged snacks, increases your risk for diabetes, weight gain, and cholesterol problems. These issues all put pressure on the heart and damage your arteries over time. Even worse, sugar contributes to inflammation inside your blood vessels, which makes it easier for plaque to build up. Instead of reaching for a donut or sugary cereal in the morning, try oatmeal with berries, Greek yogurt with walnuts, or a smoothie with banana and spinach. Use natural sweeteners like a small drizzle of honey, or enjoy the natural sweetness in fruits like apples or oranges. And here's a smart hack: if you're craving chocolate, go for dark chocolate with 70% or more cocoa content. It contains flavonoids that may actually support heart health when eaten in moderation. Now, you might be wondering, do I have to change everything all at once? Absolutely not. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about strict dieting or giving up everything you love. It's about making smart, consistent choices. You don't need to eat perfectly to live longer. You just need to make better choices more often. If you stick with it, your heart will thank you. You'll breathe easier, you'll sleep better, you'll stay active longer, and best of all, you'll keep living life the way it's meant to be lived, full of energy, presence, and connection. Now that we've talked about what to limit: salt, sugar, and processed foods, let's shift focus to what you should be eating. Because the truth is, the right foods can actually act like natural medicine for your heart. Heart surgeons, who've studied longevity and lived it, often follow a very specific set of dietary habits. They don't rely on mystery powders or trendy fads. They stick to real, whole ingredients that have been around for generations. So let's dive into some of the most powerful heart-protective foods you can add to your routine, starting today. 1. Oats and whole grains. Let's start simple. Oats. A warm bowl of oatmeal in the morning is one of the best things you can do for your heart. Oats are rich in soluble fiber, especially a compound called beta-glucan, which helps reduce LDL cholesterol. That's the bad kind that clogs arteries. Unlike sugary cereals or white bread toast, oatmeal keeps your blood sugar steady, supports digestion, and keeps you full longer. Add in a handful of blueberries or a spoonful of chia seeds, and you've got a breakfast that's as heart smart as it is satisfying. Other great whole grains include quinoa, barley, brown rice, farro and buckwheat, all of which are loaded with fiber, minerals, and antioxidants. Make the swap. Instead of white rice or white bread, go for these whole versions. Over time, they help reduce inflammation, lower cholesterol, and even support healthy blood pressure. 2. Beans, lentils, and legumes. Heart surgeons love legumes, and for good reason. Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, edamame. They're all nutritional powerhouses, packed with plant-based protein, fiber, folate, magnesium, and potassium. These foods help reduce cholesterol and regulate blood sugar naturally. Unlike red meat, which can increase saturated fat intake, legumes give you protein without the baggage. In fact, one study found that just one serving of beans per day can reduce the risk of heart attack by up to 14%. Add them to soups, mix them into salads, or serve them as the base of a grain bowl. They're inexpensive, easy to prepare, and make your heart stronger with every bite. 3. Nuts and seeds. If you've ever read about the Mediterranean diet, which is widely considered the healthiest eating pattern in the world, you'll know nuts play a central role. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, and pumpkin seeds are full of heart-friendly fats like omega-3 south and monounsaturated fats. They also contain important minerals like magnesium and zinc, which help regulate blood pressure and support circulation. Just a small handful of raw, unsalted nuts each day has been shown to lower the risk of cardiovascular disease. Walnuts, in particular, are great for your blood vessels. They improve flexibility in the arteries, helping your heart pump more efficiently. Try tossing a few almonds in your oatmeal, snacking on walnuts in the afternoon, or sprinkling flaxseed into your smoothie. 4. Leafy greens and colorful vegetables. There's a reason why every long-living population from Okinawa to the Mediterranean eats vegetables by the plateful. Spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. These veggies are packed with vitamin K, nitrates, and antioxidants that strengthen your arteries, reduce inflammation, and help your blood vessels relax. What does that mean for you? Lower blood pressure, better circulation, and less strain on your heart. You don't need to eat a salad the size of your head. Just make sure to include a handful of greens in 2 meals a day. Try sauteing spinach with garlic, roasting Brussels sprouts, or adding a side of steamed broccoli with dinner. And don't forget other colorful vegetables like bell peppers, carrots, sweet potatoes, and beets. They provide fiber and nutrients that support total cardiovascular health. 5. Fresh fruits, especially berries and citrus fruits like blueberries, strawberries, oranges, grapefruits, and apples offer a triple benefit. They hydrate you. They're loaded with vitamin C and potassium, and they help lower oxidative stress, a key factor in aging and heart disease. Berries in particular are rich in anthocyanins, which give them their bright color and their power. Just one serving of berries per day can improve blood vessel function and help prevent plaque buildup. And if you're trying to cut sugar, fruits are your best ally. Their natural sweetness satisfies cravings without causing the same blood sugar roller coaster that refined sweets do. 6. Olive oil, the healthy fat that protects arteries. Here's another Mediterranean staple: extra virgin olive oil. Unlike animal fats or processed oils, olive oil contains monounsaturated fatty acids that lower LDL cholesterol and raise HDL, the good kind. It also helps reduce blood pressure and improves arterial function. Use it as your go-to cooking oil. Drizzle it over steamed veggies or mix it into homemade dressings. Just make sure it's labeled extra virgin. That means it's cold-pressed and unrefined. And yes, it's okay to eat fat, the right kind of fat. You might be surprised at how simple and accessible all of these ingredients are. No need for imported powders, expensive juices, or rigid meal plans. Just real, whole foods that have supported human health for generations. The key is consistency. It's not about perfection. It's about small, sustainable habits you build into your daily routine. A bowl of oats here, a handful of nuts there, a few greens at lunch. These choices add up, and over time they shape a stronger heart and a longer life. We've talked a lot about what to eat for a healthy heart, but food is only one part of the equation. Your daily habits, especially those in the morning, play a huge role in how your heart performs. Think about this. When you wake up, your body has just gone 7 to 8 hours without food or water. Your blood is slightly thicker, your vessels are more constricted, and your heart has to ease back into action. That's why most heart attacks happen early in the morning. The body is shifting gears, and if you're not supporting it, that transition can put strain on your heart. So what can you do to help your heart start the day strong? Let's walk through a few simple morning practices, all backed by doctors and long-living patients, that can make a world of difference. 1. Start with a warm glass of water before you sip your coffee or eat a bite of breakfast. Drink a glass of warm water. It sounds too simple to matter, but here's why it helps. It thins your blood, making it easier for your heart to pump. It wakes up your digestive system and supports detox. It helps your kidneys flush excess sodium from the day before. Bonus: Tip: add a squeeze of lemon to your warm water if your stomach tolerates it. This can support liver health, hydration, and metabolism, all of which are indirectly tied to heart function. 2. Do 5 minutes of gentle stretching or movement. You don't need a full workout. You don't need to sweat. But your heart loves gentle motion, and just a few minutes of light activity after waking up can get your circulation going without overloading your system. Try this. Stretch your arms and shoulders, rotate your neck slowly, do a few leg swings or gentle lunges, take a short walk around your home or yard if you're feeling stiff in the mornings. This helps loosen up your muscles and joints. More importantly, it gets oxygen-rich blood flowing, giving your brain and heart a wake-up call without stress. Even just 5 minutes can reduce your risk of clotting, improve your mood, and help regulate blood pressure for the rest of the day. 3. Eat slowly and mindfully. Never rush breakfast. Many people skip breakfast, eat on the run, or grab whatever's fast. But long-living heart doctors almost always prioritize a calm, nourishing morning meal. And they eat slowly, not just because it's good manners, but because it's good science. When you eat fast, your body doesn't register fullness, your blood sugar spikes more rapidly, and your heart has to work harder to send blood to your gut for digestion. For someone with high blood pressure or existing heart strain, this can be risky, especially if the meal is heavy. Here's how to do it right. Sit down and focus on your meal. No TV, no scrolling. Chew each bite 20 to 30 times. Avoid overeating. Stop when you're about 80% full. Eating slowly reduces the post-meal spike in heart rate and blood pressure. It also allows your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode, to do its job properly, helping your heart stay calm and steady. 4. Never overeat at night. Now, this one isn't technically a morning habit, but it directly affects how your heart behaves the next day. If you go to bed with a full stomach, your body stays busy digesting while you sleep, and your heart has to pump harder to support digestion, especially if you've eaten a salty or fatty dinner. That's why many heart patients wake up with higher blood pressure, feel bloated in the morning, or even experience irregular heartbeats during the night. Instead, aim to eat dinner 2 to 3 hours before bed. Keep evening meals light and low in sodium. Avoid alcohol or heavy sweets before sleep. Your heart and your sleep will thank you. 5. Take a 10 to 15-minute walk after lunch. One of the best-kept secrets in heart health is a short, slow walk after eating, especially after lunch, which is often our largest meal of the day. You don't need a treadmill or a step goal, just a peaceful stroll around your house, your block, or your garden is enough. Why does this work? It lowers blood sugar after meals, it improves digestion without stressing your heart, it supports circulation and reduces post-meal fatigue. A 10-minute walk has been shown to lower the risk of blood sugar spikes and triglyceride surges after meals, both of which are hard on the heart when left unmanaged. 6. Breathe deep and smile first thing in the morning. Yes, it sounds simple, maybe even silly, but deep breathing and a light smile each morning send powerful messages to your body. Your breathing expands the lungs and increases oxygen flow to your heart and brain. Your smile triggers dopamine and serotonin, the hormones of calm and contentment. Both actions lower cortisol, the stress hormone that can stiffen arteries and increase blood pressure. You don't need to meditate for 30 minutes, just sit or stand for 3 quiet minutes. Take 5 to 6 deep breaths and smile. That's it. It costs nothing, but it sets the tone for your entire cardiovascular system. These habits aren't dramatic, they're not flashy, but they're the kind of steady, sustainable actions that keep your heart calm and steady year after year. It's not about doing all of them perfectly, it's about picking a few, sticking with them, and letting your heart settle into a rhythm that feels strong, supported, and stress-free. So now that you've seen how food and daily habits play a role in protecting your heart, you might be wondering, okay, what does a full day of eating actually look like? Good news, it doesn't involve counting calories. It doesn't require exotic superfoods or rigid schedules. It's simply about choosing the right ingredients, real, whole foods that give your body what it needs without overloading the heart. Let's build a full day of meals together, one that's delicious, nourishing, and gentle on your cardiovascular system. Breakfast: oats, fruit, and healthy fats. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels your body and protects your heart. Here's a powerful combination: 1/2 cup old-fashioned oats cooked in water or plant-based milk, 1 tablespoon chia seeds or ground flaxseed, 1/2 banana or 1/4 cup blueberries, 1 small handful of raw almonds or walnuts optional, a drizzle of honey or a sprinkle of cinnamon. This kind of breakfast gives you soluble fiber from oats and fruit to help reduce cholesterol, healthy fats from nuts and seeds to support vessel health, natural sweetness that satisfies without spiking your blood sugar. Want to keep it even simpler? Greek yogurt with fresh berries and walnuts is another heart-smart option. The key is to avoid the usual breakfast traps: sugary cereals, white toast, processed sausage, and bacon. These all raise inflammation and make your heart work harder before your day even begins. Lunch: protein, grains, and greens for lunch. You want something balanced, not too heavy, but enough to carry you through the afternoon without a crash. Try building a power bowl. 1/2 cup cooked quinoa or brown rice, 1/2 cup roasted chickpeas, black beans or grilled tofu, a big handful of leafy greens like arugula, spinach or kale, colorful veggies like bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, carrots, or beets, a spoonful of avocado or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil optional, lemon juice, tahini dressing, or a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. This kind of bowl gives you plant protein to keep you full and steady fiber and antioxidants. To fight inflammation, healthy fat, to support blood vessel function. You don't have to eat a salad every day. Just make sure your plate is colorful, plant-forward, and not overloaded with salt or saturated fat. Avoid processed deli meats, white bread sandwiches, and fried takeout whenever possible. They're quick fixes that lead to long-term damage. Dinner, warm, light, and easy to digest by evening. Your metabolism is slowing down and so is your heart. Dinner should be lighter than lunch, focused on comfort and ease. Here's a gentle, heart-friendly meal idea. Grilled salmon or baked tofu, steamed broccoli or sautéed greens, half a baked sweet potato or 1/2 cup lentils, a side of sliced cucumbers, or tomato salad if you don't eat fish. That's okay. The key is lean protein, plant or seafood, lots of vegetables, and very little added salt or sugar. Sweet potatoes offer fiber and potassium, which help regulate blood pressure. And if you're craving something warm and hearty, a simple vegetable soup with beans and barley can be incredibly satisfying without being heavy. What you want to avoid: creamy sauces, large portions of red meat, salty side dishes, and sugary desserts before bed. These tax the heart during a time it needs rest, and they often interfere with sleep. Snacks and treats. Yes, you can still enjoy them hot. Healthy eating isn't about perfection. You can absolutely have snacks. It's just about making better choices. Instead of chips, try air-popped popcorn, sliced cucumbers with hummus, or a handful of raw almonds. Instead of candy, enjoy dark chocolate 70% cocoa or higher, fresh fruit, or a frozen banana blended into ice cream. And if you enjoy a sweet drink once in a while, go for fresh fruit juice diluted with water or unsweetened herbal teas. Steer clear of sodas and energy drinks, which are packed with refined sugar and chemicals that strain the heart. Drinks that support the heart: the best drink. Water keeps blood flowing smoothly, helps your kidneys flush excess salt, and supports every organ, including your heart. Other heart-friendly beverages: green tea full of antioxidants, hibiscus tea, may help lower blood pressure. Fresh citrus water adds flavor, and vitamin C. Beet juice, rich in nitrates that support circulation. Avoid excessive caffeine, especially in the afternoon. Limit alcohol, and skip sugary bottled drinks whenever you can. These simple swaps make a big impact. Simple rule to follow: if it has a long ingredient list, skip it. Here's a practical tip you can use at any grocery store. If a food or drink has a long, hard to pronounce ingredient list, it probably doesn't belong in your body. The longer the list, the more likely it's processed, packed with preservatives, or contains unhealthy fats and added sugars. Instead, stick with real foods your grandmother would recognize: grains, vegetables, fruits, nuts, legumes, and lean proteins. These are the building blocks of a healthy, lasting life. These meals don't require a lot of money, effort, or time. They just require intention. And once they become part of your routine, they feel natural. Now, we've talked a lot about what to eat, how to move, and which habits help your heart stay strong. But even when we think we're doing okay, the heart has a way of whispering to us before it ever screams. And unfortunately, many of those early whispers go unnoticed. That's why this last section is so important, because understanding the early warning signs of heart strain and acting on them early could be the difference between a full life and a devastating event. 1. Unusual fatigue from light activity. We all get tired. That's normal. But heart-related fatigue feels different. It shows up when you're doing things that never used to wear you out, like walking up a few stairs carrying groceries, or doing light housework. You might find yourself needing to sit down more often. Breathing feels heavier than it should. Your chest might feel just a little tight, not painful, just off. If that sounds familiar, don't write it off as just aging. It could be your heart saying, "Hey, I'm working overtime here." This type of fatigue often comes with shortness of breath, feeling lightheaded, a subtle sense of anxiety or heaviness in the chest. When these signs show up together, especially after meals or in hot weather, it's time to pay attention. 2. Mild swelling in the feet, ankles, or face. Here's one a lot of people miss: waking up with puffy eyelids, thicker lips, or swollen feet that leave sock marks. Most people chalk it up to weight gain or water retention, but this kind of swelling can be a signal that your heart and kidneys aren't pumping or draining fluid effectively, causing fluid buildup in your tissues. Press gently on your ankle or shin if the skin stays indented for more than a second or two. That's called pitting edema, and it's something to bring up with your doctor. It may seem mild now, but when ignored, it can progress into more serious heart strain. 3. Waking up at night feeling short of breath. Do you ever find yourself waking up in the middle of the night gasping for air, or needing to sit up to feel comfortable? This is another whisper from your heart. When you lie flat, Fluids in your body redistribute, and if your heart is weak or overloaded, it struggles to keep up. That pressure can back up into your lungs, making it harder to breathe when you're horizontal. It may come with a sense of chest tightness, feeling like you can't catch your breath, needing to sleep propped up with pillows. If this happens more than once or twice in a week, don't ignore it. Your body is asking for help, and it's better to investigate early than wait for something worse. One story that stays with me. Want to share a story that hits close to home. A few years ago, I met a man named Mr. Dung, 66 years old, tall, strong, proud of his health. He lived out in the country, worked his garden every day, and rarely visited a doctor. His diet: lots of rice, salted fish, pork belly, and every morning a tall glass of Vietnamese iced coffee. He felt fine, never had chest pain, never needed pills. When his daughter convinced him to get a checkup in the city, we found over 70% blockage in his coronary arteries, along with high blood pressure and elevated cholesterol. He told me, "Doc, I feel great, no symptoms, I've always eaten this way." We talked about small changes: less salt, more vegetables, daily walks, less coffee and beer. He promised to make the shift, but 2 months later, after a normal dinner, he had a massive heart attack. No warning signs, no second chances. I still remember that conversation because his story reminds me that feeling okay doesn't always mean you are okay, and it reminds me why these videos and these daily choices matter so much. Final thoughts: love your heart while it's still quiet. Your heart doesn't complain, it doesn't demand attention. It beats for you, quietly, every second of every day. But when it's tired, it won't shout, it whispers. Through fatigue, swelling, disrupted sleep, the most powerful thing you can do isn't buy some magic supplement or chase perfection. It's to start listening and responding with kindness. That means eating more plants, whole grains, and good fats, moving your body gently but consistently, drinking water and sleeping well, smiling more and stressing less, catching small problems before they become big ones. These aren't sacrifices, they're gifts you give your heart and your future, because every bite you eat, every step you take, and every deep breath is a little message to your heart: I've got your back. So take care of it, not just for yourself, but for the people who love you and count on you to stay around. If this video has helped you, I hope you'll like it and subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who might need a reminder, especially an older parent or friend who's been ignoring their heart signals. Together we can build a stronger, wiser, and healthier community, one habit, one heartbeat at a time. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next video.